A legal fight over Washington's assault weapons ban. Now at 4:30, the NRA files a lawsuit. Plus, new information in the University of Idaho student murders case. The judge has approved 2 additions to the prosecution's team.
And another beautiful day. I'll let you know how hot it might get this weekend. 90s? That's my first alert weather forecast. It's coming up.
Now, KAPP KVEW Local News Special Edition.
Now at 4:30, Washington's governor takes action on several pieces of legislation concerning reproductive care and gender-affirming care access in the state. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. I'm Madeline Hagan. We're on early today to bring you coverage of the NFL draft at 5 o'clock. We begin with reproductive and gender-affirming care taking center stage today in Washington state politics. Governor Jay Inslee signing several state bills that add protections for abortion access and gender-affirming care. The bill signed this morning during a ceremony at the University of Washington campus in Seattle. In all, the legislation will protect abortion access in Washington state and support the doctors who provide that care. The measures take steps to counteract recently enacted legislation in neighboring Idaho that aims to stop people from crossing into Washington for such care.
And by this act today, we are going to make sure that the women of Washington state have access to this drug. And I'm proud that the Washington state has led the nation in doing this. And I'll be signing HB 1469, which will shield women of the state of Washington, shield them from the intrusion of other states that somehow would try to use our judicial system against this freedom right. This bill will prohibit cooperation for our state's investigations relating to abortion. Further, HB 1340 will protect health providers from having their licenses revoked or other disciplinary actions stemming from reproductive care or gender-affirming care.
Senate Bill 5242, which his office says eliminates deductibles for cost sharing for abortions. Governor Inslee's office says $15 million for the 2023 through 2025 budget contains $15 million for abortion care. The governor plans to sign the updated budgets next month. Meanwhile, backlash against legislation the governor signed which bans assault weapons in Washington. Several organizations, including the NRA and one gun store in Spokane, now suing the state of Washington over its semi-automatic rifle ban. The NRA says the ban violates the Second Amendment and restricts the rights of law-abiding citizens. Court documents show Spokane gun shop Sharpshooting, along with other groups, say that semi-automatic rifles are the modern standard. They call the law unconstitutional. The lawsuit goes on to say the law violates both the Second and 14th Amendments.
And tens of millions of Americans use these every day for lawful purposes. So we brought this suit forward on behalf of NRA members and Washingtonians who, are exercising their fundamental right to keep and bear arms.
Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson says he expects the state to face lawsuits. And now moving to the weather and spring here with all its glory. The sun shining over the Columbia River today. Sunshine feeding hungry local flora as fauna enjoys the warmth, and it's getting warm, much warmer than it has been in recent weeks. And with that, Jason, it was a lovely day today, and just more loveliness still to come into our region.
Well, Maddie, you said it's feeding fauna. Well, it's feeding us
Absolutely.
As well. The heat, finally feeling that heat. Good Thursday evening, Maddie. Good Thursday evening, everyone. What a beautiful day we had. Still a little bit of haze out there, but still just gorgeous conditions. And those are going to continue. Even more sunshine is expected for Friday and Saturday specifically. Clear on our Skywatch radar. Folks, hope you've been able to enjoy. Look at the clear skies on the way overnight and into tomorrow. And even clear skies. We're going to be staying very warm overnight and then back to the 80s as we get to tomorrow afternoon and into the evening. And folks, we could scratch the surface of 90 degrees in some of our cities on Saturday. At the least, we'll be in the mid to upper 80s by Saturday and not too much cooler for your Sunday. So just again, we're expecting like 89, 88 for your Saturday. So folks, just a touch cooler tonight than we saw last night at this time, but still plenty of sunshine, more or less light winds. Folks, can't wait to tell you about this hot weekend, the first hot weekend of 2023. That's my forecast coming up. But for right now, let's send it back to Maddie.
Thanks so much, Jason. Well, an update tonight now in the case against a man accused of murdering 4 University of Idaho students. The prosecution now adding more legal power to its team. A Leda County judge granted the prosecution's request to add 2 Attorney General's office deputies to the prosecution. Brian Koberger faces a preliminary hearing in late June. It will determine if enough evidence exists for a trial. The state of Idaho, where the case is playing out, has not yet announced if it will seek the death penalty against defendant Brian Koberger. In Massachusetts today, attorneys for the Air National Guardsman accused of leaking top-secret Pentagon records now fighting for his release. But federal prosecutors demand he remain in custody and call him a national security risk. ABC's Justin Finch following developments out of Washington, D.C.
New details emerging about accused Pentagon records leaker Jack Teixeira. The Department of Justice pressing for the Massachusetts Air National Guardsman to remain in federal custody, contending that he poses a national security risk and could have access to even more U.S. secrets of interest to other nations. Nations that could potentially offer Teixeira safe harbor. Teixeira's attorneys responding in a filing, accusing the government of hyperbolic judgments, asking the judge to release him on the least restrictive conditions, denying that he poses a flight risk or obstructing justice in his case. So far, he has not entered a plea. The DOJ's court filing revealing more about the 21-year-old suspect. Prosecutors claim he took a series of obstructive steps to impede the federal probe, including allegedly instructing members of the online platform where he's accused of sharing Pentagon documents to delete all messages. Federal prosecutors detailing noteworthy finds they say they located in a search of Teixeira's residence, such as a smashed laptop, tablet, and an Xbox gaming console, as well as a cache of firearms including rifles, shotguns, and AR and AK style weapons. The government's filing also noting Teixeira's online communications, alleging that last November he said he would kill an expletive ton of people if he had his way.
Now, as early as last year, prosecutors say government records reveal Teixeira was accessing hundreds of classified documents that had no bearing on his role as an IT specialist. The Air Force announcing that 2 leaders from his department have been suspended pending an investigation. Well, every day, Camp Hope shelters anywhere from 125 to 175 people experiencing homelessness in Yakima. Officials there say for the many residents who struggle with behavioral health or substance use disorder, asking for help is hard. But when they have to locate those resources and find reliable transportation to get there with no guarantee they'll be seen, it's even more difficult. Coming up after the NFL draft, a KAPP KVEW exclusive on a game-changing new partnership officials say will bring those resources straight to the people there who need it most. Well, it is a big night for football fans, and the reason we're on early. Live coverage tonight of the NFL Draft on ABC. The draft taking place in Kansas City, Missouri, tonight through Saturday. 4 quarterbacks could possibly get snapped up right away.
What I'm expecting from this year's NFL Draft is the unexpected, because there's so many mixed opinions on a lot of these players, and we have the 4 quarterbacks at the top. Where will they fall?
Now, 32 teams are involved in the NFL Draft. None are busier, though, than our very own Seattle Seahawks. The Hawks have 10 picks this year, including the number 5 overall pick. Seattle has a number of options. Some mock drafts have the Hawks taking Florida QB Anthony Richardson. He would be the long-term successor to Seahawks QB Geno Smith. Other projections have Seattle selecting a defensive player such as Georgia's Jalen Carter. The Hawks' passing defense struggled last season. They ended the year near the middle of the league in yards allowed at 211 per game. Seattle could also trade its picks to move up or down in the draft.
We come right back again, and those 3 big events of those early picks, it kind of comes back at us in a hurry. Makes it really fun and a challenge and a lot of scenarios, and more so than normal.
Coverage of round one of the NFL draft begins tonight at 5, immediately following this newscast. KAPP KVEW Local News is on at 3 p.m. tomorrow, Friday, followed by World News tonight, and then round 2 and 3 of the draft. The draft will wrap up on Saturday. And taking a live look outside in Kennewick, warm temperatures and even warmer temperatures still to come to our region. Jason, we'll have a look at your forecast when we return. Plus, a big announcement coming tonight when we'll learn who has been chosen as Tri-Citian of the Year. We'll learn more about the title and what it means. That's next on KAPP KVEW Local News at 4:30.
Allen Brecky Law Offices help trauma victims on the road to recovery. We understand what you're going through and are serious about helping you. Call 735-0546. Call now. They're waiting to help you.
When it comes to supplying the farm, come to Northwest Farm Supply. Your hometown store has a wide selection of everything egg-related. Plus, we're the largest Purina dealer in Hermiston. Products you trust from people who care. Northwest Farm Supply in Prosser, Hermiston, and Othello.
It's the biggest sale of the season at Furniture Row, so get ready because everything is on sale. Save on living, dining, and bedroom, like this unbeatable deal on the Wrangler sofa, only $5.99. Save big on the Gunsmoke Queen bed, only $6.99. Get the 5-piece Colors dining set for only $4.49. And check out the queen size Summit Firm for only $332.49. Plus 3 years, no interest financing. But hurry, the biggest sale of the season at Furniture Row ends soon.
Save now with Bi-Mart's latest membership savings book arriving in members' mailboxes this week. It's 16 pages of great store-wide savings, including everything you need for spring lawn and garden to-dos. At Bi-Mart, our members get more value every day.
Woo! Zip line at Triple Play, baby! I don't have wings, but I'm flying! Look, I'm a pterodactyl! Ah! Spoiler alert, it goes backwards too! Hey Astrid, what's up, girl? Oh, me? Just zipping along on the zip train.
Triple Play has fun for everyone, including the brand new zipline ride, and it's all attached to a cozy hotel.
You know I'm gonna get this 2 talons up.
Oh no, you hate coming home to a dark house. You need the Bell & Howell Bionic Spotlight. The instant the motion sensor detects movement, Bionic Spotlight triggers 8 high-intensity LED lights that shower the entire area with light and then shuts off 30 seconds after it stops. Get the motion-activated Bionic Spotlight for just $19.95 with free shipping. If you order right now, you can double the offer and just pay a separate fee. 2 Bionic Spotlights backed by our 5-year warranty for one low-value price. And the shipping is free. Here's how to order.
Allen Brecky Law Offices help trauma victims on the road to recovery. We understand what you're going through and are serious about helping you. Call 735-0546. Call now. They're waiting to help you.
Live with Kelly and Mark, weekday mornings at 9 on KAPP KVEW.
Welcome back, everyone. Tonight, a very important community member will be named Tri-Citian of the Year. We'll be live later tonight when the big announcement is made. But before that, we wanted to highlight what qualifies someone for this title. Now, this event does take place at the Three Rivers Convention Center. The winning individual must demonstrate outstanding service above self. The Tri-Citian of the Year must exemplify high standards of community service and leadership. And on top of that, this person has positively impacted our community's development and economic growth through voluntary and selfless acts. Again, we'll be at the event tonight live to announce who is your 2023 Tri-Citian of the Year. That comes up after the NFL draft this evening. Well, Disney, the parent company of ABC News, now filing a lawsuit against Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and other officials. It alleges government retaliation against the company, which is threatening its business operations. Here's ABC's Alexis Christoforous with the details.
In a new lawsuit filed by Disney, the parent company of ABC News, Disney accuses Florida Governor Ron DeSantis of waging a, quote, relentless campaign to weaponize government power against Disney in retaliation for expressing a political viewpoint unpopular with certain state officials. That viewpoint, the company claims, was Disney's vocal opposition to DeSantis' parental rights and education law, dubbed by critics as the Don't Say Gay bill, which prohibits classroom discussion about sexual sexual orientation, or gender identity. DeSantis has focused on Disney's long-standing status as a special tax district, which allows the company to self-govern its Florida operations around Walt Disney World since the 1960s.
State took the district and changed it. We have every right to do that. The legislature has every right. It could abolish every special district if it wanted to.
Disney alleges a targeted campaign of government retaliation is now threatening its business operations and jeopardizing its economic future in Florida. The company arguing its constitutional rights are being violated. Disney is one of the largest taxpayers in Florida. Disney World, the largest single-site employer in the U.S. Disney CEO Bob Iger responding to DeSantis' actions on a recent shareholder call.
The governor got very angry about the position Disney took, and it seems like he's decided to retaliate against us, in effect to seek to punish a company for its exercise of a constitutional right. And that just seems really wrong to me.
The case now heads to federal court in Florida. In New York, Alexis Christoforous, ABC News.
Closer to home, Japanese exchange students at Davis High School have spent their last couple of days in Yakima learning about Yakima culture. 28 students have been working to learn intricate methods of Native American beading to make ropes, keychains, and medallions while being told some of the history of the Yakima people. The assistant principal who led the class has been beading that way for years and was excited to share it with the students.
I'm Simpson from Alaska, but I worked a lot with the Yakima tribe at the tribal school, and so I'm always promoting Native culture.
She says the students fly out tomorrow, but she's hoping to make it a tradition and share this with the next group of exchange students.